Action on the main base.
It's basically like a tank. It should look pretty formidable, and it should be kind of clunky.
This is a physical version. We had to build this so that all the human reaction can take place. We've got to pull Mifune out of it, and the kid's got to jump into it. And it's not articulated. It's not a robot in the sense that it moves, but it can be repositioned. It can be posed for various shots. And it's taken a lot of people to build it.
We started the gun in April or May. We didn't start the APU proper until the beginning of June, and then we're hoping to have it close to being finished middle of December. These are pieces of the thing.
This will be part of the arms. It's filled with a foam in here, plastic casts inside. They've got metal inserts.
These are the ammo casings for the bullets for the APU.
A mock-up carriage for the APU.
So it's being done in little bits and pieces and put together and made look 100 years old.
Guns are so evil, if you want, that I think I try to make them comic. If you want to make something fantastic, you add on things that people are familiar with so that they can relate to it.
It appears that art department has designed something based on an old M60 machine gun in the U.S. I mean, it's pretty impressive. The idea behind it is pretty cool.
Okay, this is full speed.
Along with building this APU, we've also built a carriage, a human carriage, which goes on a motion base, which is run by the special effects department. And that motion base is run from the programming that the visual effects department have done. So they can put in the animated moves into the motion base, and then eventually they can take that human carriage and insert that, if you like, onto a visual effect one or a virtual one where the guns are firing and the object is moving in a very dramatic way.
They're driven by humans, as humans sit in the chest cavities. So you also have to consider the characteristic of the person driving it. So you can differentiate their movements also based on that.
What we had to do is devise a method to actually lock up, the positions of those people and have the mass of the machine that's driving them actually felt and seen in their body language.
And this motion base here is going to help us do that. Motion base combined with the motion control camera.
Both are being driven by files that have been based upon animations that we've been working on for months.
We've done an animation of the APU walking, and we've extracted some motion data out of the hips of the APU and have fed that data into this motion base and this motion control camera to repeat that same move. So basically the CG artist will be able to do all the animation for what the CG APU is going to look like, and then we'll be able to put a real person sitting on the front of a CG APU and have everything line up seamlessly.
Totally different way of doing things. You actually had to work to an animation rather than the animation follow you after you've done the actual scene. So it was hard work, physically, and really hard work, actually.
As you can see here, that the seat, which is just the seat portion of the APU device, is actually mounted here to a Moog motion base.
Moog base is a 6-axis device that's usually used for flight simulation and motion rides, and it moves in 6 directions of force, so it can reproduce the moves you saw in the CG animation.
Here in the back, we have these shakers. They move at 12 cycles a second. That's to simulate bullets coming out of these Gigundo guns, and you see that translating into his body.
I believe in you.
Look up here. This is an array of strobe lights that are all file-driven based on where he's firing at the time. So they are firing off on a cue in relationship to where the position of this seat here. So this area here is dedicated to compositing on the fly, on stage, the results. So this is the whole net effect here of what you need, I guess, to make some. Of course, there must be a simpler way, probably over there, where you take the damn thing and you just shake it around like that. but it doesn't look half as cool, so we go to the lengths that we can.